Hi everyone. This video is about necessity or importance or role of reactive power in power systems. So, power system means is the combination of generation, transmission, and distribution. The combination of all three things is called, and also that consumer, including the load, is called as the power system. So here, this is the power generating station. Here, the power is generated and it is stepped up by using the step-up transformer, and it is transmitted through the transmission lines. And in that receiving end, again the voltage is stepped down as the required level, and finally it is given to the customer or consumer. So when the power is transmitted from generating station to the consumer, the reactive power play a vital role. That is, it gives support for sending the active power from sending into receiving end. And already I said that there are mainly two components of alternating current in the power systems. That is, the power will be active power and the reactive power. The active power that is used to do the useful work. It is the main power. All the loads are using the active power, and it will give their function. That is, it gives their function. And the reactive power is nothing but it improves the voltage stability. That is, it is used to maintain the voltage profile in the particular transmission line and also avoids the voltage collapse. So its function is only it gives support to the active power. The active power only very much useful for any type of load for performing their function. And already we know that the power triangle, this is the power triangle. This is the active power. It is represented by P is equal to VA cos phi, and the reactive power is nothing but it is the PA sin phi. So this is the P equal to VA cos phi, and the reactive power is Q equal to VA sin phi. So this is the power triangle. It is having the three powers: apparent power, active power, reactive power. So this line P represent active power P equal to VA cos phi, and reactive power Q is equal to VA sin phi, and the combination of these two is called as the apparent power. S is equal to square root of real power square plus reactive power square. Already, otherwise we can write it as S equal to V into I complex, that is I star. So this is the apparent power. So apparent power is this is the AC system producing the power. It is having the active power and also the reactive power. These are all the alternate name for active power. Active, real, or true power, all are same representation for real power. Now let us see. And here that real power is both the problem and also solution to the power system. So reactive power, it gives solution and also it will create some problem in the power system. So now let us see one by one. First we will see what is reactive power. So reactive power is nothing but it is the imaginary part. So already said that it does not give any useful work. It just supports the active power for sending from one end to another one end. It supports the active power. So here it moves back and forth. That is, in the AC supply during the one half cycle, the reactive power flows from source to load, and during the another half cycle, again it returns back from load to source. So it moves back and forth in the power system line. So the load never consumes the reactive power. It load that consumes only active power. And that reactive power is nothing but is the already said is a byproduct of AC system, and it is produced from the inductive and capacitive loads. So in that power system itself, at the end we are using the loads. Depending upon the type of the load used by the consumer, the AC system produces that reactive power. So it exists where there is that is where we are getting the reactive power. At the time we are using the inductive load, automatically there is a phase displacement exists between the voltage and current in the particular load, so that we are getting the reactive power. And the unit for that reactive power is volt ampere reactive, that is volt ampere reactive or var. It is the unit for reactive power. So now let us see how the reactive power is the solution to the particular system. And here already said that it is needed for acceptable functioning. So if the power system that will give satisfactory operation, the reactive power is very important. So what are the systems are depends on the reactive power, the transmission line, motors, and transformers. So it gives a fulfill function, that is an efficient function. We need a reactive power, and the reactive power is also essential for operation of electromagnetic energy conversion devices. That is, if you take the transformer, it is used to produce the flex. That is one of the electromagnetic energy conversion device, and the generator also electromagnetic energy conversion device. So that a generator and the transformer, it produces the magnetic field, it needs reactive power. And again another one thing is, in some cases we are going to inject the reactive power to the system, so that we are getting the higher voltage at the particular node. So the reactive power is normally injected into the particular load by using the capacitors or some other reactive power producing sources. So the solution means it is for satisfactory operation of transmission line, motors and transformer, we need reactive power, and also that transformer and magnetic field producing devices need reactive power. And to improve the voltage at the particular node, we want to inject the voltage at the particular location by using some reactive power producing sources. And now see what is the reactive power that is supply system. So here previous one, here one example is given, reactive power supports for sending active power, right? So how it supports for sending the active power from generating station to the load. So this diagram represent real power flow without reactive power support. Here there is no reactive power support. So how that active power is flowing from generating station to the load, right? So it is having some slope, right? So it want to do more work to active power, it do more work to flow from sending into receiving end, because this line is like that, right? Suppose the reactive power support is given, what will happen, the active power easily flow from generating station to the load because of this reactive power support. So this is one simple example. So without using reactive power, that active power is not easily flow from generating station to the load. Okay, here it moves upward, so it needs more energy to move from one point to another one point. But here we are giving one support, it is called reactive power. What will happen, automatically the slope of the line is like this, so that active power can easily flow from one end to another one end. And next one is how the reactive power is a problem to the power system, right? So normally if the particular transmission line or particular power system, if the reactive power is more, means what will happen, that load needs more current for its operation, so it consumes more current, so that the transmission line size we want to increase for sending the more current to the transmission line, right? So if the reactive power is more, that is we are using the RL load, at the time the current requirement for the particular load is very high, so that we want to send more current through the transmission line. For that we want to increase the cross-sectional area of the conductor. If you want to increase the cross-sectional area, automatically it will increase the cost of the transmission line, and also it increases the I square R loss, right? The particular copper loss may be increased, and if the losses increases, what will happen, automatically the efficiency of the system is reduced. So what are the main problem, if the reactive power is more in that particular line, what will happen, that particular load consumes more current, so that it will increase cost of the transmission line. And the I square R loss is also a function of the current. The current is more means I square R loss is also increased, so that it reduces the efficiency of the particular power system. So these are the problem due to the high reactive power in the particular power system. So here see the example. So generator with RL load. Here the generator. Here we can use the step-up transformer. Here we are using step-down transformer. After that it is given to the RL load. So the load is normally RL load. It may be a induction motor also. So if the load is RL load, what will happen? Here see this diagram. This is the voltage across this RL load. Across the RL load, the voltage will be V. Now the current I is flowing through the resistor and also the inductor. What is the current flowing through the resistor? IR. The current flowing through the inductor is IL. So here this is the voltage, and the current IR is normally in phase with the voltage, so that we can draw the IR line in the same voltage line. Okay, so this IR is the current flowing through the resistor, V is the voltage across the RL load. Both are in phase because there are resistance. Suppose the current is flowing through the inductor, we know that the current in the inductor always lags behind the voltage. This is the voltage line. Lagging means we want to draw the line in the downward direction, right? Leading means the current is in the upward direction. So the type of load is the RL load. So the inductive load current is always lags behind the voltage across the line is equal to 90 degree, right? So here the current is what? Total current flowing through this resistor is IR current and IL current. So just to draw the parallel line from IR, that is parallel to this IL, just we are drawing one line from IR, and again we want to draw another one dotted line parallel to this IR line. So the meeting point of these two dotted lines gives the total current flowing through the load I, right? So here the length of that I is somewhat more, so that if the load is RL load, the inductive type of load it consumes, that is it produces more reactive power, right? It creates more reactive power in the transmission line depending upon the length of this current, resultant current, right? This is the resultant current, this is the resultant voltage. So this length is somewhat more, so that the line it is a pretty the line is carrying more current, that is the load require more current for its operation, so that more amount of current is flowing through the line, right? So the RL load is the reactive power if you are using the RL load, the reactive power is more, right? So that the current is also more in that particular system. So here the angle phi is the angle between the voltage and the current. It is called the phase angle, right? The power factor angle, we can also say it like that. So if you are using the RL load, the current is more. Suppose here, see this diagram, the RL load is compensated by using capacitor. Here this is the RL load, I am connecting another one capacitor parallel to this RL load. What will happen automatically? Let us see. So this is the diagram, the black line representing the RL load diagram, right? So this is the voltage, this is the IL current, IR current, and the resultant current, previous one, right? Previously we have drawn this diagram, no, RL load. So that is the this black color diagram, okay, RL load. Now I am putting the capacitor here. So what will happen? If you are putting the capacitor, current leads the voltage, right? This is the voltage across the load. Here also voltage V. In the parallel circuit, the voltage will be same. So the same voltage will be appeared across the capacitor. So now the voltage will be what? V. So what is the current flowing through the capacitor? IC. So in the capacitive type of load, the current leads the voltage. This is the voltage. Leading means we want to draw the line in the upward direction. Lagging means we want to draw the line, current line in the downward direction. So this is the leading. So now draw the resultant line. So here this is the load current. It is split into I and IC. I plus IC is nothing but is the IL naught. We want to draw load current. So this is the IC. Now this is the resultant I, right? The current flowing through this is what? I already we have drawn this line. So now just to draw a dotted line parallel to, so this is the dotted line, right? Parallel to this IC, right? This IC parallel to this IC. Just I am going to draw the line like this. Now from the IC, draw one parallel line with respect to this current I. For this line, we want to draw one parallel line from IC. So that resultant meeting point of this one give the resultant current IC plus I. It is nothing but load current. So compare this IL naught, that is load current length is less than the previous RL load current line, right? So this length is more, but this length is somewhat less as compared to this line. This is the RL load. If you are using the RL load, reactive power is more, so that the current is more. If you are using the capacitor for compensating the reactive power, for reducing the reactive power, the capacitor will be connected in parallel with the RL load, so that this resultant current is length is reduced, so that we can automatically conclude the current drawn by the load is reduced. Okay, so if the current is reduced means automatically we can use the transmission line with a small cross sectional area, so the cost of the transmission line is reduced. If you are reducing the current value, automatically I square are less reduced and efficiency of the system is somewhat improved, right? So the reactive power, more reactive power creates some problem, so to avoid that the compensating devices are used, so that we can get the better operation. This is the solution for how the reactive power is compensated by using the capacitor, right? So, and the next one is just we are going to compare that reactive power with some analogy. So consider this is the lace packet. So already we know we have bought a lot of lace packets from the shop. So from that we can see only half of the packet we are having the chips. Remaining half the air is filled, right? So the type of air filled in that lace packet is nothing but nitrogen gas, not oxygen or normal environmental air. If the air or oxygen is stored in that lace packet, means what will happen, that oxygen may react with the chips, that is oil in the chips, and it may create some health issues. Otherwise it may affect the taste of the chips. If you are So that the nitrogen gas is normally filled in the inside of the lace packet. So what is the main purpose of filling nitrogen gas means, nitrogen gas is non-reactive with the oil in the chips. So, and also it is mainly filled for avoiding the breaking of the chips at the time of transporting the chips from one place to another one place, right? So if there is no air inside of the packet, what will happen, if we are getting the lace packet from one person, automatically just we are pressing the lace packet means automatically the chips may broken. So to avoid that breaking of chips inside of the lace packet, the air is filled. Okay, so to avoid the breaking of the chips at the same time, it is non-react, that should be a tasteful one and crispy, right? Then only the person may like to eat. So for that purpose only the nitrogen gas is normally filled. So the purpose of filling the nitrogen gas is to avoid breaking of the chips inside of the lace packet at the time of transporting the lace packet from one place to another one place, right? So like that, here half of the packet we are having the chips, that only useful for us, right? We are eating, so that chips only useful for us, so that is called as the active power. So remaining portion of the lace packet is filled with nitrogen gas, right? Why they are filling the nitrogen gas? To avoid the breaking of chips. So the KVR is also added with the active power, right? It supports the active power, right? How the air is supports chips, like that the KVR supports the active power for sending from one into another one. So that is, if you are sending the power from generating station to the load, the active power should not be affected. That is fully utilized, right? That is that efficiency must be improved, right? So that the KVR, along with the KVR, the active power is sent from sending into receiving end, right? So it gives support for sending the active power from the sending into the receiving end or to the consumer, right? So for full utilization of the active power, the reactive power is very essential, right? So the combination of these kilowatt and KVR, active and reactive power, is called as the apparent power. This is the useful power. You can also say the apparent power is the final power consumed by the load. So actually the load consumes only active power. The reactive power gives supports to the active power that is used to maintain the voltage profile in that particular system. So this is a simple analogy for understanding of reactive power, right? And what is the necessity of the reactive power? Already said that utilization of active power. So for full utilization of active power, the reactive power support is very essential, and it improves the voltage stability, right? It maintains the voltage profile, that is, it avoids the voltage collapse, and it improves the power factor, right? And it also reduces the losses, and so that the system efficiency is also increased. And finally the cost of transmission line is reduced, and it improves the power quality. Power quality means the power with proper values obtained at the receiving end without any sag, swell or voltage dip, right? So these are all the necessity of reactive power in the particular system. So here we see what are the various sources are creating more reactive power in that particular power system. Induction motor, transformer, under excited synchronous machine, and heavily loaded transmission line. These are all the things producing more reactive power in the power system, so that it will increase the current of the particular system. So to avoid that, what are the sources are added into the particular power system? In synchronous generator, right? And synchronous condenser, solid state device. These are all the cases used to reduce the reactive power of the particular power system. So these are all the cases we are these are all the loads creating more reactive power. These are the problem, right? Problem to the creating the problem, right? Because of increasing the reactive power in the particular power system. And the solution is nothing but to avoid or to compensate the reactive power produced by this load. These are all the compensating devices added into the power system, so that the reactive power is reduced and it will increase the efficiency of the system. So these are the synchronous generators, synchronous condensers, solid state devices, capacitive and inductive compensators, or the devices used for compensating the reactive power. So these are all some explanation, and I think this you may get enough idea about reactive power and how the reactive power is uh, produced and how it is compensated by using various sources. So without reactive power, we can't send the active power efficiently from one end to another one end, and reactive power is also improve. There is a reactive or compensating devices also improve the power factor of the system. Okay, thank you, Anton. Friends, subscribe our channel Triple A Encyclopedia for learning all basic concepts comes under electrical and electronics engineering, and enhance your knowledge. Thank you for watching this video on our channel Triple A Encyclopedia.